SHITSHOW, episode 13. I'm Geltchy. Joining us on the lounge today is Stu, Kung Fu Stu as usual. And then we've got Russell here from 7FT SOOKS.
G'day.
And as you can see, we can't get the table up as usual because he's 7 foot tall with his long legs. Tell us a bit about your band and how you started there, Russell.
Oh, we timed it really well. We kicked off just sort of meeting local blokes around the Bridging Shopping Centre. I was the postie, Mark was the barista there at the time, and we had another bloke on guitar he delivered the parcels. And so we all ran into each other there, got in a garage, practiced a few covers. We had about 10 or 15 covers or so, and started writing a few originals, started getting our act together and getting ready to go out on the road and test them out, and COVID hit. So we
got sidetracked.
We got locked up a bit.
Yeah. Did you? Yeah, so listening to your music, it's got a real, like, late 80s, early 90s sort of pub punk feel, Cosmic Psychos, Painters
chats.
and Dockers, even early chats. Cheeky as anything. Your songs like Roundabout and Chico Roll, and I love it. There's just not enough of that around these days.
Oh, Chico Roll had me crying.
Yeah. Tony, I kind of have it in my head that we kind of write nursery rhymes for adults.
I love it.
Like we'll never be the greatest musicians, and we don't take ourselves too seriously as songwriters, but there's still a bit to be said, and you can have a bit of fun with it. I mean, look, I grew up I left school in early 80s and moved to Sydney and was hanging out with bands like the Hard-Ons and Celibate Rifles and Hellmen and all those guys who were
great bands.
Yes, that just did a lot of, as well as being musicians and bands, they were actually really good people that were pretty dedicated to what they were doing, which is been pretty inspiring for me for a long time. Like I ended up roadieing for them for a few years, but still hanging out with them as mates.
And a few of them bands are still around in different formats. We got to catch the Sunny Boys and Celibate Rifles before Damien's passing. So I've seen quite a few of his shows, and actually got booted off stage one day with him because he had sandals on, and asking him if he was Jesus and stuff back in my crazy days. And Long Jetty Hotel. And that was good. That was sort of
it's very formative time in Australian rock music, where you had the countdown era of really commercial slick operations and that sort of thing, although it was very much done in a garage. But it sort of gave the impression that you to be on TV you were something, and these guys sort of came through with a bit more of that underground
thing,
doing the record covers themselves and stuff on the sleeves and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, like Ben Brown from the Hellman, who's an awesome artist. And
Rolling Stones even made their own covers for Rolling Stones #1. The albums got pressed, they didn't have the covers yet, and they did about 15 of them for very lucky humans that got one.
Well, the Hard-Ons are about to go off on a tour of Europe for the 40th anniversary. I think
with Tim Rogers now.
Exactly. So they're a different animal. It's not the Hard-Ons of the 80s or the 90s or the 2000s or the 2010s. It's now the 2020s.
They've had to morph with the times, haven't they?
And the songs they're writing, they're just fantastic. They're such good musicians. Like Blackie is, I think he's sort of, he went for a long time with not being taken seriously, and then you had people who were sort of going, actually he's pretty good. And now he's kind of there, but he doesn't. I don't think he really gets it. He's still the angry young kid from the western suburbs of Sydney, yelling at having a crack.
So what's a live show look like for you guys besides the big beards and you don't get mistaken for ZZ Top or anything like that?
No, not often. Live we're pretty loud. Like sometimes it's, it feels really good to be putting things out, because like a lot of the time, you're in a 15 foot by 15 foot room with a couple of mates, and look, don't get me wrong, we have some really like amazing things. It was like, oh geez, that sounded alright. Was it any good? And all that, and it's good. But when you do it in front of people, you get that feedback of what it is. And like I've got great mates. I'm really stoked, and they're like, oh mate, that was great. But when you get people you don't know, oh man, like I really enjoyed that. That's really validating.
Yeah.
And it makes it really worthwhile. So yeah, we like to, like, it's a bit of a cliche now, but we know where we are as musicians, but we also know that if we do what we're meant to do, it'll sound pretty good.
Yeah.
And we'll do it right. Like I remember, the first time I saw the Cosmic Psychos, it was their first tour to Sydney, and the reason I went to see them was I saw a street press interview with a guy from a known band, and he said, oh, it's like, you go and see the Cosmic Psychos, and they're not the best musicians in the world, but every note they play like 110.
Yeah.
They put everything into it, and that's what I've always tried to get going.
So was your last show at the skate comp?
Yeah, the Sunshine Skate 20-year anniversary of 138 Skateboards, who are, we played a couple of shows with them. We're playing another one in October 26 in Brisbane. It's part of that thing. It wasn't necessarily planned. It just worked out really well. So we've had a bit of a break since then, like a month or two, where we've just been working on a few new songs and
getting ready to do a recording.
Yeah, building up to that. Like we'll sort of we've got four, like one song we played a couple of times before we had this little break, which is going over pretty well. It's actually I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. It's written about like you were saying, the Chats before. The drummer from the Chats was teaching my son to play drums.
Yep.
Before all the Chat stuff, and when they kicked off, Tony had a place in Perigian, and they had a bring music to the suburbs thing. So the Chats played in his backyard. We've sort of like we've known them like around the time that they were getting the band together, and obviously since they've gone from being the little kids, the noise.
Well, yeah, we've known them with the different lineups and that since they were like young kids. They hung out with my oldest son and that a bit as well, and were jamming before they sort of went down that path and started.
The new lead guitarist in the band, Josh Hardy.
Yeah. The Unknowns.
He's got, but he's also got another one now called Loose Lips, and the drummer is the daughter of one of the Cosmic Psychos.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No, they're really good.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah. You had them as one of your song choices. Last episode or one before. Yeah.
Well, I came back from a few years, like 8 years overseas, and went to Shotgun had an art festival up in the car park near where the bowling alley is.
Yeah.
And the Unknowns were playing in like under the fold out pagoda thing in the car park. And they, like Josh would have been 15 or 16, and his brother was
Caleb,
was a year or two younger. And I said to my wife, that kid should be on a bigger stage.
Yeah, they were watching them from their early things like.
Yeah, well, Josh used to kick about with me when he was young, and I'd pick him up and take him surfing and everything, and he was listening to all my music in the car, Sally's and Radio Birdman, Sunny Boys, all that sort of stuff. So there's a big influence there.
Yeah. Oh no, they're just so much fun. Like
and I think that's what we've missed a lot, especially since COVID. A lot of music and that's lost the fun, and that's there's nothing better than going to a gig and just seeing them having a ball.
Just getting loose, like it's the experience of a live music thing is I think it's kind of being lost on us a bit because we're so used to looking at phones and things, and you're not getting that, like I'm not, you know, I can't talk anymore because my ears are ruined, but but that the feeling is, you know, and the thing is, it's just in that moment, like you can only get it in that moment, and there are times when it doesn't work, something was a bit off there, but when it's on, it's really good, and you get like there's a shared experience. Like, it doesn't matter whether you're on the stage or in the crowd or whatever, you've shared that experience with other human beings that you don't get that opportunity to do that much anymore.
And sometimes the music and the crowd, you can end up with this euphoric experience.
Well, you're feeding off each other.
I've had that at a couple of shows that just stick in my mind now, and nothing's come close to it.
And you know, like the other thing can happen too. Like, it's probably sound a bit trite, but I was pretty excited about seeing Nirvana and went down to see them at the big day out in Sydney. And Celebrate Rifles were on stage before them, and I was like, oh yeah, Rifles, cool. And sit here and wait for Nirvana, and they came on, and it was just, you know, Kurt Cobain was over it. Like, he didn't want to be there, and I was like, I don't want to be here either. And I walked out and saw You Am I in there very early.
Back when I was supporting Tumbleweed.
Oh even before that, they were, you know, they were playing at the skate ramp. And there was about 15 people and the pro skaters.
And they were so heavy.
They were. They were a really good rock and roll band. You know, they're still.
I had a similar experience. Was at Big Day Out. Soundgarden were playing. I think they headlined that year, and I don't know what it was. It just didn't lack something. I think it was the wrong venue for them. I walked out, went and watched Celebrate Rifles on a small stage, just going off, and it was
Well, I remember seeing. I think that was I saw them at Surfers Paradise, the horse race track. Was the Big Day Out there, and Rage Against the Machine played in the afternoon.
They were unreal.
And it was, you know, the whole crowd was just like stamping their feet, and there was this cloud of dust about, you know, 10 foot over the crowd, and it was just, and you could feel the earth moving as everyone's sort of stamping to Killing in the Name of or whatever. And Soundgarden came on later, but the funniest thing for me was that Chris Cornell, you know, everyone knew him with the long hair, and he came out with short hair and was doing the roadie, check, 1, 2, 1, 2, in front of 50,000 people, and
no one recognised
one person
knew who he was.
Yeah, including me. Like, I'm not trying to say I'm all good, but it was so funny. And then he's there, check, 1, 2, he goes, good, and then the band walks on and kicks off like, It's so cool.
That's classic.
Incognito.
What goes into writing a song for you guys? That's you've got some good inspiration.
Yeah, Tony is the master of just coming up with a, you know, like a catchy riff with a, you know, Chico roll. It's, you know, funny. The new one, Kangarooted, is about Josh, you know, on the road somewhere, trying to figure out what to get from the servo hot food, you know, the hot box. And just looking at the pie there and going, oh, that can't be good. That's, you know, how long has that been there for, and that sort of stuff. And it's a really good song. Like,
wow.
It's so much fun to play. So I can't really talk for Tony's creative process, but he, you know, like he's got a, look, I'll put it like this. I had a mate say to me one day, like when I was thinking about, you know, the band and what was going on, and having a bit of self-doubt and stuff, and he said, if you've listened to good music growing up, you know what good music is to you, and if you can do something that, you know, feels all right to you, right, because like you can't listen to yourself objectively, but if it feels all right, then it probably is going to be all right. That gave me a bit more confidence, and Tony's, you know, like he's the guy. Like I do all a bit of the music theory nerdy stuff. I don't, you know, not to a super high level, but just like I understand that that's a minor chord and that's a major. And, you know, when you show it to me, not when you play it. I'm not. Whereas he's got the ear, and he can just listen to something and just go, oh yeah, oh hang on, no, it's not that, it's this, you know, and he's really good at that. Whereas I have, I tend to write a lot of words and then come up with a riff and then try and work out which ones match up with it.
Yeah.
And that doesn't always work. So like Roundabout was, I was working as the postie at Phrygian, and I dropped everything off. I was going home and I could see this storm coming over from the southwest, and I had to drive that way to get home. And I knew I had, you know, like 10 minutes, and it takes me 12 minutes to get home. And I got to the roundabout, and there was a little old lady, she's probably a lovely person or a tourist or whatever, and she was at the roundabout, and there'd be a gap, and I'd say, Anya, come on, go. And she did it about 4 or 5 times. I was like, go, motherfucker, go. And I just, oh, hang on, that sounds right, go. And so I rode home all the way home, got wet, I got smashed in the storm, soaking wet, but, you know, like just grabbed a towel and grabbed my bass and just came up with the riff. And it's the only time that a song has sort of happened like that.
Yeah,
and it's not as if it's lyrically, you know, deep or anything.
Speaking of Roundabout, is that where you did the film clip for it?
Yeah.
That's I was looking at it going, oh, well, that place looks familiar.
Yeah.
That's the actual roundabout where the
incident happened.
Yeah.
That's where it came from.
Yeah.
The birthplace of the song.
And the funny thing about it is that the film clip for Chico Roll is done in the shop. So like the roundabout's there, and the shop was there that we filmed the thing in. So I know they're all, you know, the guys from the shop are mates and stuff like that.
That's
bar.
classy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keeping it real.
Yeah. Keeping it local.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's good. Well, Geltchy, what's happening with the Cara? We give away this.
Okay,
SHITSHOW.
we have a winner that ended last night, and at 23 KYRI or 23 Kiri, whatever he wants to go by, his blue Torana just blitzed the field, like 300 and something votes. Stoked, so I haven't even started yet, so just give me a couple of weeks. I've got a bit of a backlog, but I'm looking forward to drawing your car, and you'll be getting a framed artwork of that. And then as a random voter at savannah.file, you'll get yourself a signed and numbered art print as well. And just in that, I just want to give a big shout out to @Holden Cartel that backed us and collaborated with us on this. You guys are getting signed and numbered art print as well. So looking forward to the next car art giveaway. I'm still working on something. I'm just waiting to finalise it. So hopefully next episode we can announce that one. So yeah, that's where we're up to. I'm looking forward to drawing something a bit different. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
So
everyone loves a Torana.
Oh,
yeah. And just on that, talking about music and festivals, you guys get any opportunities with that, or?
Yeah, we do. We've done a few sort of mini festivals. I call them up at Nambour with a few kids, young kids in their early 20s. So
nice. Yeah.
That are doing some stuff. Cherokee and Curly, and they've sort of they're walking in the footsteps of a few other people that have put things on, and they're doing really good things.
I think we're starting to get a bit of a resurgence of the smaller festivals. Like after COVID, there's been the big reset with live music. It's been hard, and so on that, we've got the big Pineapple Festival coming up October 17 or 19, I think.
I think the 19th is the Saturday.
A couple of weeks away, and that's got the Amity Affliction. These are just a few that I'd be interested in seeing. The Amity Affliction, Bliss and Esso, Thornhill and Ocean Grove. Plenty of other artists. That's sort of my pick of what I'd like to see there. And then on the small festivals, after Pricey's big weekend, Black Flag Brewing are doing the Something Cool Festival, and this is good. Body Jar.
Body Jar.
Anti-Skeptic, which haven't seen or heard them guys in quite a while. And our mates Fake News. They're on the thing, Dad Fight, the Walston Butchers and the Yeah Nars. So
The Yeah Nars.
that's coming up in November. Jump online, get your tickets. That's going to be a cracker.
What's the date for that one,
I was silly enough not to write the dates in my notes, so as a shit happen thing,
There you go.
I missed it. I'm pretty wired this morning. I've worked all night, had 3 coffees, now I'm to a chai.
Come off an all-nighter, mate.
I'm all over the shop, so apologies for the dates. They will be on the website and that. Yeah, so that's where we're up to with that, and a couple of good festivals.
Highly recommend Dad Fight.
Yeah.
They're one of those bands that I said, hey, a little bit about. Saw them, like, whoa. You know, they're up there with like Fake News as a really together.
That's something that, you know, I hope that's where you guys are heading. And that when I was younger, what I used to love was the local pub.
Yeah.
And often the support band you'd see, you wouldn't know who they were or much about them, and they just blow your mind. Like some of the best gigs I ever went to were bands starting out because they're really pushing themselves, trying to make it, trying to...
100%.
And I think, you know, these opportunities coming up with Black Flag, and that's awesome.
Exactly. You know, what Black Flag are doing, I know they've been wanting to do it a little bit more regularly, but it's hard with the zoning laws and having a thing up at Noosa with that drill at the moment. So.
Yeah, and the logistics and all that.
Insurance,
it's not easy to put together, but hats off to them really having a go. And the Sunny Coast needs this. There's more people here now.
Yeah.
We've always missed out on, you know, good tours and that, but to be bringing bands like Body Jar, Anti-Skeptic, to cool them, like,
it's big.
That's epic. So good.
Yeah, we got music. We got to talk music, even though we've been talking
music non-stop.
What have you been listening to this week, Geltchy?
Okay, for me, and this is back to talking about the sort of breakout stuff. I don't even know how I came across them. I've been listening to for a few years. A band called Captives from Melbourne. I don't know if anyone's aware of them.
I think I've heard the name, but I don't know anything about them.
They've been around for 10 years. They got that real punk sort of sound, melody with a bit of a scream, and it's just got bite. It just really grabs you. And song of theirs, I Am Horror. That's unreal. And just looking up a bit more, like I said, they've been around for 10 years. I've never heard of a gig at Brisbane or the Sunshine Coast for the time that I've known about them. I look forward to one because definitely going. I do know they played a gig at the Gold Coast a couple of years ago, so they have gone north. And most recently, they've toured Japan, which is pretty big for them. Like, I recommend give them a listen. Nice.
We'll check them out.
Nice, fast,
We'll check them out.
Good stuff. Keeping it local.
And they'll be on the website as well. So
that'll be on the Songs of the Shit Show playlist.
7FT Sooks will be on there too.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah.
What about you, Russell? What's been tickling your ears?
I've been going through a little bit of the Donners lately. A band that sort of were going somewhere and just got sick of it and went on to bigger and better things, doing amazing things, but like not anything to do with music. Just listen to their, you know, the way they put songs together, like really classic rock and roll. Really good. Locally, mates of ours, One More Billy, put out a new EP.
Yeah.
And it's so well done. Like
they're a good band, eh?
Yeah.
So that's Kat's husband and
Dan,
my mechanic.
Yeah. Hang out with Nilo at
Yeah, well, I saw him the other Thursday.
Yeah, they did that festival.
No, it was Thursday up in Nambour, supporting a band from Bundaberg called Exotic Potion Cookies, who were pretty amazing. It blew me away that these, like, you're from Bundaberg and you know, they're playing really, you know, wild sort of Mr. Bungle type stuff. Really good. But yeah, One More Billy, like we sort of formed around the same time, and we helped each other out. You know, they pulled us into shows, and we tried to get a few for them with us.
And what's the song of theirs that you really like?
Ruby is the one they're pushing at the moment, but there's no bad ones.
No,
like
okay.
They're just I can't say how much I like them without sounding like a Swiftie without going over the top, but they're really down to earth and really helpful. And another one that I love, and I can't not listen to them, is Gudgeon.
Gudgeon, yeah.
Who just drums and bass and just like they're not. I don't know what they are, but they play one weekend they play a festival with like death doom metal bands, and the next week they'll be playing with Henpeck, the sort of folk country band, and they won't be out of place.
It's just fit in anywhere.
Yeah, they don't. They're not. Like I always say, nothing can prepare you for Gudgeon.
So
they're just what they are.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for them. A good gig too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're cool.
What about you, Stu? What's been tickling your ears?
Oh mate, I've been listening to the Transplants this week.
Hey.
Nice.
And my pick for a song is Diamonds and Guns. I just love that song and love the band,
Yeah, they got a good energy.
Yeah, they got a great energy, so that's what's been infecting my ears this week.
Yeah, that's good. So we're all got a bit of a punk taste this week.
We do.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And surfing, what's happened? The World Tour is wrapped up and it feels like it's the middle of the year.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it, now we don't continue on to Hawaii.
Why?
But,
what is it, 6 months on, 6 months off now?
Seems to be that way, yeah.
Mm.
I mean, you've got QSs and stuff happening, but it's a bit weird.
We had a bit of feedback on the other week with, can't think of her name now, who we said was on the CT and...
Erin Brooks.
Yeah, that someone said she isn't on the CT. Well, I don't know if that's misinformation or...
I could have sworn that she was going to be qualifying for that, so she'd done enough work.
So
we'll have to wait and see with that one, but I'll tell you what is on. The World Masters in El Salvador is coming up, and Serena Brooke, she's going over to represent us. And, no doubt Serena will do really well. She's shreds.
Yeah.
Great girl too, Serena. So good luck, Serena. We wish you the best over there. I hope you bring it on home for us.
Yeah. Another local
Smash
one.
Mate of mine used to fix her dings when she was down in Caloundra.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, well, she grew up there.
Yeah.
High kid.
Yeah.
Miranda was
that's
the
where
big
I know
raps
them all from.
Yeah.
I do have a bit of breaking news. I don't know if you heard it, but I think I saw something the other day that Ian Gouveia has qualified
Fair dinkum.
for the tour. Yeah.
There you go.
Wow,
I didn't know that.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's good. It's
bit of dark horse underground music.
Yeah. It's so hard to keep up with now. They've really made it difficult. It's what used to be such a simple process you could follow is now. Yeah.
Anyway, look, I'm sure there's going to be no shortage of surfing coming up, Hawaii season's just starting to kick off, so I saw some interesting footage with John out at sunset the other day, and that looked pretty good, so lovely stuff. Yeah.
Then you have the smaller events like Vulcan,
yes.
Comp and that, which, maybe that's what we need more of. Get away from this CT
I love the
tennis looking thing. Yeah.
Don't get me started.
No, that's a bit of a thorn in my side these days.
Yeah.
Got to be a millionaire just to finance the tour these days.
Oh yeah, you got to have some backing.
What do you guys reckon about having the tour and then having a grand final at the end?
I don't myself.
I don't like it because you work hard all year.
Yep.
And you can get a lucky break and win the world title. Where's the effort in that?
Yeah.
That's...
Yeah, I'm kicking with that too. I think there's got to be a better answer. I like, you accumulate your points by doing well all year, the old school way.
Yeah. You had to earn it.
You had to earn it.
Yeah.
they could still have a world champion, and then they could do a specialty event like a playoff event where.
Where like the top 6 or top 8 or something, just have a champion of champions type event.
But you've still got your world champ, you know what I mean? That's earned his and hers place through the year, accumulating points and doing well at all these different spots.
Yeah.
I don't get the final 5 thing.
No, like I said, it's not tennis. It's not.
No.
You know, that just comes down your world champion's crowned on that.
Yeah. Bobby Martinez spotted it years ago, didn't he?
how they're feeling on that day, how good the waves are during the heat, and you're the world champion.
It never made sense to me that you could be the world champion that you earned by being the best surfer in waves all through the year that are all different, lefts, rights, reefs, points, beach breaks, whatever, and then you go to one place, which is, and it like, you know, I'd love to surf it, don't get me wrong, but man, it's a toy wave compared to pipe or cloud break or
next year it goes to cloud break, but still I just don't get it. I think it's a great idea, the concept's great, but not for a world title.
Not for the world,
you know, you're saying, have a you know, champion of champions event or something like that, but you've still your world title holder for both genres, men and women, have earned their place over the year, like you were just saying, Russell. You know,
try this one. How about, rather than the Olympics being this big qualifying thing, the world champions over the 4 years, plus say another, you know, like 10 tournament winners or whatever, they go to the Olympics.
I think that would be a lot fairer process as well.
And then you're getting, like, you're missing out on the excitement of somebody from you know, somewhere where she doesn't get great waves, getting thrown out at Chopu.
You
know, like, what's going to happen?
Crazy stuff.
Anyway, just a few ideas. Throw at you.
Yeah.
Who knows? They might do the 2030, whatever they are, Olympics here in Rumba. Definitely wouldn't be running with your surf reports during the last week.
No. And look, I move about with those reports, so it could be anywhere.
Yeah.
What do we got fresh off the press, Geltchy?
Okay, we've got a couple of newies.
Got to have some new stuff happening here.
Yeah, we've got a bit. We've got Sacrifice Hades tea in white, which is a new fresh one. And the Sacrifice Hades tea in the black, which is a new colourway for that one. So they've just dropped. They'll be up on the website, and as usual, if you watch it, you can get the code. Trying to think what the code is. SHITSHOW 20 in capital letters, and you'll get 20% off these items if you order them online during the next fortnight.
It's a bloody bargain.
Sound like Demtel. A bit worried about
that. Do yourself a favour and get the code.
Oh mate, you might even get some extra knives with that.
So is there another code for the steak knife?
And then I'm heading up to Bundaberg this weekend for the Bagara Beach camp out.
Oh, that's the
the entrance shirts. I just thought I'd bring it just to let all the entrants that are watching know. Yes, I've got your shirts. You would have received an email saying to come and pick them up from me. Please don't drive all the way down here to get them. I'm loading up my trusty little Kia Friday morning, leaving the big car at home this year, and I'm bringing all your stuff up. So we'll see you guys, and then on the Sunday we'll have a merch stand, and come say hi. Looking forward to the event.
So the Kia's going to do the run,
mate. It's the only reliable car I've got. Like, we talk about shit happens.
Jeez, well, you got a good shit happens.
We look at my wife's car, out of action for 6 weeks. Like, now's a good time to be a mechanic. Or this is what happens when you don't have apprentices anymore. But 6 weeks in and we still haven't had it diagnosed. It's 2 different mechanics. One that managed to run the key over and had to replace the key without fixing the problem. It is just, shit happens. So who knows, this may drag on to next episode or until we go car shopping.
And speaking of shit happens, viewers, send us in your bloody story. We're keen to hear from you. You can win a Sunday Shit Show t-shirt. So give us your best shit happens story for next episode, because we want to hear from you.
Yeah, definitely. And send us in a good story. We'll send you some merch.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, what's coming up next year?
Well, we've got the Underdogs.
So that'll just about wrap us up today.
Yeah, we've got a little bit to talk about yet. Who's your underdog this week, Geltchy?
My underdog is actually the 7FT Sooks.
There you go.
That song Chico Roll, why is that not an anthem we're hearing every day? Like, that should just be blowing up.
Oh,
like,
it's a you beauty.
really, like, yeah, well done to you and the boys. Yeah, like, I think it's awesome, and you know, let's get it on our playlist. Let's everyone at home get it on your playlist, and let's make stuff happen with it.
Yeah, bang it out.
That's it.
You got an underdog, Russell?
I think just the. I think we'll go with the people in Noosa Junction who are trying to get live music back in the main street.
Let's
do it.
Which is really interesting. Like, it's funny for them being the underdog because there's 2 petitions going on, and I think we've got about 5,000 sort of people signed who want more live music, and the people who are against it want about 300. Well, I've got about 300, but I don't know. It looks like it'll be really hard to budge the council from where they are. So, I'm sure there's got to be a way we can work around it, but that's what I'm hoping that we can get that one over the.
Well, it's the future, you know. Like, yes, there was a time when, like, at least one pub in every town had a decent band of a weekend, like at least one night a week, and now it's just so hard to.
It's not even pubs, like like the pubs are another thing. So you got the Reef at Noosa and then the Villa, down down the way, and they've both got fantastic band rooms that are empty, and like we've gone and said, hey, look, once a month, can we just put some bands on here? The one of them, I don't want to name names.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, we'd love to, but we're part of a national chain, and all our entertainment gets booked through an agency in Melbourne. So,
big business.
Yeah, how do we, what's the point of having a room that's not,
look, it's the way of the world at the moment. Red tape, bureaucracy, and wankers.
Yeah. So I got a bit fucking fired up there.
You're on fire.
Could be another song in that. Yeah.
Well, my underdog this week, I'm picking SRH Clothing. They're out there. It's owned by surfers.
Yeah.
Competing against all the big boys, and it's not just surfing, it's skate, punk rock, motocross, and the brand itself, great gear.
Big shout out to Zinger in America and Trog here.
Trog here,
Australia,
Trog's pushing it hard, and I'll want to tip my hat to them because it's a hard game and they're doing really well. So get behind them, guys.
Getting into stores and taking on the big dogs, which is sort of almost one major brand now. Is not an easy thing. It's
So hats off to them for giving it a great push. And I mean, look, they've been around since the very early 90s. So it's not like they're fly-by-nighter,
Oh, look, and even they're responsible for so many bands we like and we listen to for getting 100%. Them. I remember when, they got Sprung Monkey here.
Cottonmouth Kings, Big B,
Pennywise, Blink 182 in the beginning before they were much. And
the list's endless. So get behind them, guys. Get on to srhclothingaustralia.com.au. Check out all their gear. Got some great threads, and it just keeps growing and growing and getting bigger and bigger. So
awesome.
Yeah, they're good, and they get behind local events. They sponsor stuff.
Yeah.
So get on board with that. And speaking of that as well, next Sunday Shit Show we're going to be giving away a board carry.
Yep.
And we've just made some massive improvements to the product. So
you an improved board carry.
Yeah, pretty excited about that. So
you'll have to bring one along and fill us in with what you've done.
Yeah, we'll bring one along and we'll give one away to lucky punter, but we'll sort that out next show.
Yeah, we might look at someone who's dinged their board or dropped their board and share us a good story or something.
Oh, we've got stories.
We've got stories?
Yeah. Just look at all the pros, they struggle, you know, they're carrying 3 boards at a time, sometimes down to an event. You can put all of those in one sling, chuck it on your shoulder and still have other stuff in your hands. So, great product. And,
well, we look forward to that.
Coming up.
So that's a wrap, is it now?
I reckon we're just about done. You got anything else you want to talk about, Russell?
No, just catch up with us on the Facebook and the Instagram. And
well, I'll put your handle up in the thing and that as well. And if you see them up with a gig, get down and go see the 7FT Sooks.
Yeah, well worth a watch.
Yeah, we've got a show next the 5th in Maroochydore at Ocean Street.
Oh, nice.
Double barrel bar and new venue for punk rock, so hopefully well, not so much us, but the other bands playing it. Gonna be pretty good as well. But that'll be a good one. That's the next local one, and a few more around the place after that.
Oh, that sounds good, and we'll try and stay up to date with what you're doing and get the word out.
We'll be all over you.
Yeah.
We'll be over you like a Brad Rash.
Yeah, cheers. Wouldn't be the first.
So if you want to get on the good shit, get on the Sunday shit show.
That's it, get on the shit show.
You.